Hi. Welcome back to my channel. Continuing our journey with Three.js and the FlowFuse Node-RED Dashboard, we're now moving on to part 3. In this part, we'll be working with GLB files. A GLB file is a compact 3D model format that can store geometry, materials, textures, animations, and other model data in a single file, making it ideal for web-based 3D applications. We'll start by learning how to load a GLB model into a Three.js scene. Then we'll explore how to change the color of specific parts of the model, control model movement and rotation, and create simple process animations. We'll also learn how to add custom geometries to represent water flow and water levels, allowing us to combine imported 3D models with dynamic objects generated directly in Three.js. These techniques are commonly used when building more realistic 3D SCADA, digital twin, and industrial visualization applications. So, let's get started. Before we begin, we first need to prepare a folder where our 3D model files will be stored so that Node-RED can access them easily. The first step is to locate the Node-RED configuration directory. You can do this by running the Node-RED command in command prompt. During startup, Node-RED will display the location of the folder containing the settings.js file. Next, open the settings.js file and add the following configuration to define an HTTP static folder. This folder will be used to serve files such as GLB models, textures, images, and other assets directly through Node-RED. After that, create a new folder named public inside the specified directory. Any files placed in this folder can then be accessed from your browser using a URL, making it easy for Three.js to load GLB models into the dashboard. Once this setup is complete, we'll be ready to start loading our first GLB model. After editing the settings.js file, don't forget to save the changes. Next, create a folder named model inside the public directory. This is where we'll store the GLB files used throughout this tutorial. To verify that everything is configured correctly, I recommend placing a simple image file inside the public folder as a test. Once that's done, restart Node-RED so the new configuration takes effect. Then, open your browser and try accessing the file by appending its file name to your Node-RED URL. If the image is displayed successfully in the browser, that means the public folder is being served correctly by Node-RED and is ready to host your GLB models and other assets. With that setup complete, we can move on to loading our first 3D model. These are the GLB files used throughout this tutorial series. You can download them, along with the complete Node-RED flows, using the link provided in the video description. Now let's move on to our first example. Loading a GLB file into a template node so that a 3D model can be displayed in the Node-RED dashboard. To load a GLB model, we first import the GLTF loader, which is a Three.js utility designed for loading GLB and GLTF files. We then create a new loader instance and call loader.load, providing the path to the model file. Once the file has been loaded successfully, the model becomes available through gltf.scene. We can then scale it, position it, and add it to the scene just like any other Three.js object. In this example, we're loading a simple duck model from the public folder and displaying it inside the dashboard. From this point onward, the loaded model can be manipulated, animated, and controlled in the same way as any geometry we've created in the previous tutorials. In this next example, we're changing the color of the duck model using several button nodes. Each button sends a color code as its payload to the template node, while the reset button sends a special payload to restore the model's original color. Since a GLB model can contain multiple objects, we first use the traverse function to search through the model hierarchy and find the mesh we want to modify. Once the mesh is found, we store a reference to it and also save its original color. Inside the watcher, whenever a new payload is received, the code updates the mesh material color using material.color.set. If the payload is reset, the original color is restored using the color value that we saved when the model was first loaded. This demonstrates how individual parts of a GLB model can be accessed and modified dynamically, allowing us to create status indicators, alarms, or other visual feedback directly from Node-RED data. In this example, we're controlling the rotation of a table fan model. Two buttons are used to start and stop the fan blades, while a switch controls the swing movement of the fan head. The buttons send Boolean values through message control, and the switch sends a Boolean value through message swing. When the GLB model is loaded, we use traverse to locate specific parts of the model by name. In this case, we're searching for the blade pivot, which controls the fan blades, and the motor, which controls the fan head movement. Inside the watcher, the incoming values are stored in fan enable and swing enable. Then, inside the animation loop, if fan enable is true, the blade pivot continuously rotates to simulate the spinning fan blades. If swing enable is true, the motor section rotates left and right automatically. The code uses a direction variable and rotation limits of plus and minus 45 degrees to create a realistic oscillating swing motion. This example demonstrates how individual parts of a GLB model can be controlled independently, allowing us to create realistic equipment animations driven directly from Node-RED. One of the most important aspects of working with and animating GLB models is understanding the model hierarchy and the pivot point of each part. To inspect these properly, we can use Blender. By opening the GLB file in Blender, we can see how the model is structured, identify the parent-child relationships between objects, and verify the names of individual components. We can also check the pivot location of each object, which determines how that part will rotate or move inside Three.js. A correct pivot placement is essential for creating realistic animations such as rotating blades, opening valves, moving actuators, or swinging mechanical assemblies. In this next example, we're creating a simple water flow and water level simulation using a 3D water dispenser model. I'm using two buttons to control the faucet, open and close. When the open button is pressed, a water flow animation appears from the tip of the faucet and flows into the glass below. When the close button is pressed, the water flow stops. At the same time, the glass contains a water level indicator that gradually rises while the faucet is open, simulating the filling process. This creates a more realistic visualization of how liquid moves through a system rather than simply changing a value instantly. Now let's take a look at the template node code behind the simulation. First, the open and close commands update the open valve variable, while the reset button triggers the reset glass flag. These values are received from Node-RED through the watcher. After loading the water dispenser GLB model, the code locates the faucet object using traverse. This helps us identify the exact position where the water should start flowing. Instead of using another GLB model for the water, we create two simple Three.js geometries. The first cylinder represents the water stream coming from the faucet, and the second cylinder represents the water inside the glass. Inside the animation loop, when the valve is opened, the water stream gradually scales downward from the faucet, creating a flowing effect. At the same time, the water inside the glass slowly increases by scaling along the y-axis, simulating the filling process. To make the animation look more realistic, a small wave effect is added by slightly changing the scale over time. The reset button simply returns the water level back to zero so the simulation can start again from the beginning. This is a good example of combining imported GLB models with custom Three.js geometries to create dynamic process animations. That's it for part 3. I hope this tutorial helps you understand how to work with GLB models in the FlowFuse Node-RED Dashboard, from loading models and manipulating their properties to creating simple process animations. In the next part, we'll continue exploring more advanced techniques for building interactive 3D SCADA and digital twin applications. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss future tutorials. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.